Shuklambaradharam
Vishnum Sasivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyayet Sarva Vikhnopashantaye.
Gurur Brahma. No, Saraswati Namastubhyam.
Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Kamarupini Vidyarambham Karishyami Siddhir Bhavatu Me Sada.
Yenakshara Samamnayam
Adhigamya Maheshwarat Kritsnam Vyakaranam Proktam Tasmai Paninaye Namaha.
Sahana Vavatu
Sahanam Bhunaktu Sahavidyam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Samichinam. So last week we did the lute. We did lute 2 weeks, like how it was. I think the reason why the hurricane Ian decided to make 2 landfalls, we should have stuck with lute on only 1 week. So we will move on to the next topic. Kshamyata. So we will move on to the next topic. Does anybody have questions? Namaste, Chris G. And
Namaste. Namaste, Vidyaji. Since I missed the first class, I have just one question because I was trying to fill in the gaps.
Okay.
I was using Svatmavidyananda for filling in the gaps.
Oh.
On topic. So basically, what I figured out from the internet, which I didn't get from listening to the second class, and also it wasn't on the handout either, is that if something is an object case, it's going to be 6 case. We're using the
So the original, so the transformation, I actually have a nice visual for conversion from a kriyapadam to a lyut pratyaya usage. So in a lyut pratyaya, for our working sample, you have karta, karma, and kriya, the subject, the object, and the verb. Then the verb can be converted to the lyut pratyaya. So we will have a new kriyapadam karoti. So we will have karta karoti, karta lyut karoti. Then what will we do with the original karma? That original karma will become the shashti vibhakti. It will take a shashti relationship with this lyut. So balah pathati, balah patham pathati, balah pathanam karoti, balah pathasya pathanam karoti.
very clear. Thank you.
So I do have an illustration of that in one of my blogs. I will locate that and I will send. Or if you are able to locate while I poke around now, it is in manoratham.wordpress.com. Any other prashna? Any other question? Okay, so we will now move on to the next pratyaya, which is ghai. We may even do 2 pratyayas, that way we can have some work accumulated for practice. So we are going to do the ghai pratyaya. And what does this ghai pratyaya do? I will give you a form, and that will help us to identify what the intention of this pratyaya is. So, if we take the pat dhatuhu, it would be the patah. If you take the tyaj dhatuhu, it will be tyagah. So it is similar to the so it is also giving you a sense of the action. The word for action in Sanskritam, of course, is kriya, but another word for it is bhavaha. So bhavaha is in the sense of the action. Bhavaha is in the sense of the action itself. So this also is giving you the bhavaha of the verb. When you say ktavatu pratyayah, it is giving you the sense of the person who did the action. Right? When you do ktavatu, which is kritavan. So when you say patitavan, so the ktavatu pratyayah, which is patitavan, gives you the sense of a person who did the action. If we look at the kta pratyayah, it gives you the sense of the object on which the verb was done. Patitah. So patitah is the kta pratyayah. It is working on the karma. So the ktavatu acts on the karta, the kta acts on the karma, shatru acts on the karta again. Ramah patan pibati. Rama, while eating, drinks. While reading, drinks. So that patan is also associated with the karta. So you can understand now how a transformation to the verb that happens, to the root, the dhatuhu that happens, you can tell it is not a kriya padam anymore. So if it is not a kriya padam, then it is associated with some noun. And when it becomes a noun, we need to know with what is this noun associated, right? So the ktavatu associates it with the karta, doer. The kta associates it with the karma, the object. Shatru associates it with the karta. Shanach, anybody wants to tell me? Shanach, yes, it has two options. So, very right. Shanach for the Atmanepadi in Kartari Prayogaha will be associated with the Karta, but the Shanach is also useful for the Karmani. And therefore, at that time, when used in Karmani, it will be associated with the Karma. As in, Vandate, Vandamanah is Karta. But Vandyate, Vandyamanah is karma. So Balaha Bhaktaha Vandate, Bhaktaha Vandamanah Gayati. The Bhaktaha, as he is praying, sings. Bhaktaha Vandamanah Gayati. Devaha Vandyamanah Varam Dadati. The God being worshipped gives the boon. So the Vandamanaha in Kartari Shanach associated with the Karta, and Vandyamanaha is Karmani Shanach associated with the Karma. Sadhu. Okay, then what else have we learned? So every pratyaya that you learn, you can associate it with one of the, if it's a noun, it will get associated with one of the noun karakams, with one of the noun roles, the roles that are played.
When you say associated with, do you mean declined like in terms of case and
It becomes an adjective.
yeah, adjective. It's an adjective relationship.
Right. So Vandamanaha, Bhaktaha, Vandamanaha, Shanach becomes the adjective of Ramaha, Bhaktaha. Then Vandyamanaha, Devaha becomes the adjective of the Devaha who is being worshipped. Or Patan Chatraha, the reading student, becomes an adjective of the Karta, the student. So when I say associated with, it is an adjective of. Okay. And if you can recall any, of course, you have the tumun and the ktwa that we have done, but they are avyayams. Avyayams means they don't have any, they can't be an adjective of anything. Avyayam is indeclinable. So when you say tumun, it is associated with the karta doing, so it is associated with the karta as a secondary action. And the meaning, we can't change the karta. Ramaha pathitum gacchati. You can't say Ramaha pathitum Sita gacchati. When the mother is herding the child to various classes, you can't use the tumun pratyaya. There, instead of pathitum, you can use patanartham. There you can use the lyut pratyaya and use the chaturthi vibhakti. Ramaha pathitum vidyalayam gacchati. Ramasya patanartham amba vidyalayam gacchati. For Rama's study, mother goes to the school. We will address all these things later. Sorry for overloading there. Okay. So we have the any other pratyaya that we may have done. If you can remember, you let me know. But now this lyut pratyaya was not associated with the karta, right? When you say pathati and the lyut for it is pathanam, pathanam can either be associated with the karma or it can be associated with the karta. So Ramah patham pathati, Ramah पठनं करोति, रामः पाठस्य पठनं करोति, रामेण पाठस्य पठनं क्रियते. So the pathasya pathanam will remain the same, mainly because it's a napunsakalinga form. It will remain the same whether it is kartari prayogaha or karmani prayogaha. But in one case, it is, in either case, it is the pathanam is the karma. In one case, it is.
Just a quick question. Are you recording today's class?
Yes, I'm doing a recording on my PowerPoint screen recording. And I'm also doing an audio recording by the side in case this screen recording does not work.
I'm definitely going to have to go back and write all that stuff down that you said, because it was, I mean, it's definitely pertinent because we've studied all that, but it's because it's all kind of mixing things together. It's definitely, I'm kind of losing it.
I will also try to make out these sentences comparative. This is more like a comparative study of the pratyayas that we have done. So I should not be complicating the matter, but you will be able to arrive at it.
Really helpful. I can just see I'm not grasping everything, and so I'm getting kind of lost on as you go. I'm catching some of it. It's just not all there.
Sure. And I could write on the screen, but my writing will slow down the whole process. And I don't know why I think I'm on I feel like I'm in the tailwind of the EN and I'm speeding through. So if anybody needs to put a brake on my movement, you please do so. Yes, Bhaskar ji?
Maybe a little slow.
Okay.
If we can, I was wondering if we can make a table
Yeah.
showing,
That's what I was thinking. Maybe we can work on a table. Everybody, we could just like as a group work on a table of what she just said and kind of put all those things together, the associations with the pratyayas and what people.
So here is the challenge. Before you get together and start doing any table, what I would suggest is each of you pick one verb. And then you pick that verb and you write down all the forms that you know of the verb. Leave out the present tense, past tense, future tense. Leave out the verb modifications. So you take one verb, don't take many, just take one verb, and then you identify all the forms that you know of that verb. First and foremost, you need to become familiar with the forms that you have learned. So just say, okay, ktavatu, patitavan. It has a strilingam, patitavati. Then you say ktva, patitva, kta, patitaha. So you just collect the forms that you know. Then you try to make one sentence with the kriya padam and see in what way that same sentence can be modified using any of the other forms. That way you will be able to understand. Once you understand, then you will be able to make a table, and that is where you have to go. Making a table, it, it will be available in any book. Yes, Chris?
Several sentences with the same words.
Yes,
Several sentences with the same base words. And
correct.
switch the word pieces as needed.
Right. So first, the same sentence using all these forms, then uh, as many modifications with the least amount of changes. Then once you have become very comfortable, you can put this aside and then make sentences randomly, completely on your own. Okay. So,
Oh, I remember I did have one other question. I'm sorry. Sorry to go back to the mute. Sorry about that.
no problem.
Is it some rule that it has to be karmani prayoga? Because all the examples you gave in the last class were karmani prayoga.
We were using the sentences that were at the end of the book.
Oh, I see. So, but there's no rule like that, right?
No, it can be used for either karta or karma. It just happened that we looked at the sentences, and I think I tried to break away from the examples here. Sarvesham dukkhanam sahanam ishyate karmani. Tava vachanasya shravanam karomi karta kartari. Bhagavatah darshanaya tapaha tapyate karmani. So the sentences that were in the book at the last page of my handout, it had all many karmani prayogas. Okay. Namaste to Sharmila ji and Lakshmi ji. Okay, so we will now move on to the new pratyaya, which is the ghai pratyaya. And I pronounce that cha, cha, ja, jha, nya. It is, if you are not able to pronounce, it's not, even if I said it, you may not hear what sound I'm saying. So how do you make that sound? You say ja. But then close your nose completely, like as though you have a severe case of cold. And then you say nya. So that is the sound of this letter. Ghai. Ghai pratyaya. So I'm going to just go over what it says here. It is referring to the action itself. So the ghai pratyaya refers to the action itself, meaning that you will use it in the sense of the verb. You will use it, you can use it with the, if you say karoti, then you will have to convert it into an, you should make sure it is an object form. But if you say bhavati, then it means you leave it in the prathama vibhakti form. What do I mean by that? We will go back to lyut. We will take the word pathanam. Now, if I were to say Sanskritasya pathanam prachalati. Prachalati means it is ongoing. So Sanskritasya pathanam prachalati. What is the vibhakti of pathanam?
One or 1 2. Sorry, no 1 1.
I know Swaminiji, if she had been here, I was tempted to put my finger 1 there, but she would have said no clues. Okay, so the Sanskritasya pathanam prachalati is prathama vibhakti. Because what is ongoing? Studies is ongoing. So that studies is the subject. But then if I use the word karoti, संस्कृतस्य पठनं रामः संस्कृतस्य पठनं करोति, then what is the vibhakti of that pathanam?
Second case.
Dvitiya vibhakti, it is the object. So you can it is a noun, and you could tell if it is in the sense of if you're doing bhavati, it is prathama vibhakti. If you do karoti, you're doing dvitiya vibhakti. Okay, so we will keep track of it like that. So here too, it is being converted into a noun form. It is being converted into a noun form, and we will see in what noun form it is being converted. And it is retaining the sense of the action. If you were to say comparative, I'll just give you an example. I'm telling you about the comparative. When you say tavatu, you know that it is associated with the karta. Karta is prathama vibhakti. When it is kta, it is associated with the karma. Karma is dvitiya vibhakti. Then you know, if you bring in the prayoga voice, then those things will change. But all those things have to be kept in mind when we do this exercise. Okay. Then from the ghai pratyaya, it is only the a that is retained in the modification. Sadhu. So the ghai is a mahaprana gha, and the only thing that is retained is the a sound. And the we will look at some of the forms, and then we will see the modifications.
Sorry, Vidya, what are the individual letters that are in that pratyaya?
Mahaprana ghakaraha, then akaraha, nyakaraha. Only 3 letters. G, a, n, in, ghai.
And so the outside drops.
Right.
Originally, I was hearing I, like the diphthong I with a nasal at the end. I wasn't quite hearing that right.
That is because of the nasal sound nya, which does not have a swaraha. And because it's a very good observation. Why do you hear? And I also should make sure that it is not heard, because the ya is also using the gums behind the teeth. The cha palatal. Cha, cha, ja, jha, nya is the palatal sound. So I am trying to make that palatal sound without adding any swaraha to it. And therefore, there is the potential of that nasal sound either hearing the ja or hearing the yeah. So you may hear people say ganj, but if they say ganj, you hear the ja, which actually is not there in the sound. And if you hear my ya, that ya also is not there in the sound, but it is gai, gai, as in gang, gai, gun, 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 gum, and gha. So you try to make all these sounds and see what is going on in your mouth and what you hear, and then you will try to figure out the correct pronunciation for this sound. The letters involved are just 3: ghakaraha, akaraha, and nyakaraha. Sadhu?
So, Vidyaji, you're going to write it sometime, right?
we will just analyze the subject and I will send the notes from the booklet. Like how I sent the notes from the previous booklet, I will send it. Try to just listen and, well, I don't know if I should say that. That sounds very, uh, very dictating, but we will try to work on just understanding the concept, and I will follow up with the notes from the book. Because if I put up the notes or if I start writing, it will slow it down. If I put up the book, then we will not listen. So we will just try to listen, and I will support it um, with the, like how I did for the lute. Okay.
Nyakara and Gakara will drop away.
Lakshmi? Lakshmi?
Okay. So the Nyakara and Gakara will drop away and Akara will.
No, why did you do in reverse order? You do it in.
I did Halantyam first.
Okay, no. Gakaraha and the Nyakaraha will drop off and you'll have the. Yes. Vasanti ji?
I was saying, you said you gave some handout last week, is it?
No, I put that handout in the same Google Drive, which I think Chris G had extracted and sent us notes in the WhatsApp group.
I put the link in the WhatsApp group. Yeah.
Okay, we should also put Yashvi's link permanently somewhere in the WhatsApp group because
There's a link to there's a link to that. It's a Meta Machika PDF kind of extract from the.
okay, sorry, I have not looked at.
Okay, so so the simplest, I will try not to be superstitious about this. The first word we will look at is the nash dhatuhu. So the nash dhatuhu, for the nash for the nash, but we will look at it as the destruction of the ego, then that's fine. So the nash, for the nash, the resultant will be nashaha. So you are seeing the the vriddhi happening to the first letter there. So we can arrive at the rules after we look at the forms. So the nash dhatuhu becomes nashaha, and it becomes nasha. What will be the lut for it? Nashanam. So Nashanam would have been the lut. The Kartari Rupam is Nashyati and Nashayati. Nashayati is the causative.
When you're doing that conversion, do you say nashana or nashanam? You just define it immediately.
No, it is actually Nashanam.
Okay.
Nashanam is the lut form for the Nash form. And the Medha Michika notes talks about any internal transformation that might happen. I don't think there is a Nashanam. I think that there's only a Nashanam. Or maybe there is. I could be wrong. We can look at. We can go back and look at the. I will do all that work too. We can look at ashtadhyayi.com and see what the lut for the nash dhatuhu is. Okay. Then for the labh, you will do the vriddhi and then you will do the a. Labha, correct. Labha, labha. And I believe it is going to be in the Pullinga case most of the time. So I think that it is going to, yes, all the gai ending words become Pullingam. All the lyut ending words were Napunsakam. So the lyut was all Napunsakam and all of gai is going to be Pullingam. So labhaha, nashaha. Then tyaj. Tyagah. So tyajati and then tyaktavan, tyaktavati, tyaktam, tyaktum. So we see there is the ka coming into the picture, and here it is tyagah. Bhunj. Sorry, bhuj. Right. Bhog, the ja becomes a ga, like tyaj, tyaj, the ja became a ga. Like that, the bhuj, the ja became a ga, and the bhu, vridhi happened, and you have a bho. So bhogah. Okay. Yuj. Sadhu. So you are on a roll there. So you had tyaj, tyagah, bhuj, bhogah, yuj, yogah. Okay. Bhu. Bhu is bhavah. Bhu is bhavah. There might be some additional rule for that. Then, right, the Sandhi rule. Hr, harah. The this is also a harah. A mala is also a harah.
How do we write
Hr. You write the ha and you tuck the r underneath the ha.
that doesn't come out while typing with your G.
What?
While typing, I'm in that Sanskrit thing. One is not able to do the
No, you can't do the hr, but you can do the hr. You can't. So anytime you can't do the r, dirgha ukara, dirgha rukara, you please make sure to add an extra rukara there.
no, even the I don't get it in the typing.
You may no. You just have to. So I have her. It is the r is put in a different spot, not in the intuitive spot. They have put the r in the shift of the ra. In are you able to write pr? If you are able to write pr, you will find hr. Okay. So hr is harah. Kr. Correct. Karah. Okay. So uh, as.
Can you please repeat it?
As. Asaha. As, asaha. So the some of the words that are no, asanam is the lyut. Asanam is the lyut. So this asaha, I will add the upasargas, the prefixes. Ni, as would be nyasaha. Then san, ni, as would be sanyasaha. And then la. As is, I believe it is an is. But the meanings will change when you add the upasarga. I think that us by itself is. No.
You mean us like sitting?
Asana, yeah. Yes, us.
Bhavati, like bhavati.
Bhu is bhavati. It is the kriyapadam for the bhu. Oh, for us. Okay. So, duh. Duh is milk, to milk. Very nice. Dohaha. And the lyut is dohanam. And here it is dohaha. So you can tell that when you have nashaha, it is not associated with the karta. Right? So when you do bhavati, nashaha bhavati. Phalasya nashaha bhavati. When the fruit rots, you will say phalasya nashaha bhavati. And you can say ushnam, heat, phalasya nasham karoti. The heat is causing the destruction of the fruit. So ushnam, so nashaha is a pullinga word, and if you use karoti, it will become an object. If you do just asti, then it will remain a is. Nashaha asti.
So when I say
Oh, so go ahead. I'm sorry.
when I say killing is bad, instead of using yut, I would use
Yep.
gan, right? So the
Ghai.
act of killing is bad.
So what will you say?
So nashaha, na good.
Okay. So good is samyak, sadhu.
Just samyak. I was gonna say samyak. Samyak bhavati.
Na bhavati.
Na bhavati.
Yes. So nashaha samyak na bhavati. Nashaha na samyak. Chris G?
I'm not picking up the meaning difference between this new pratyaya and you.
There is not much of a difference. It is just that one is a pullingam and the other is a neuter gender. But nashaha, so that is why in many places you will find them even being used interchangeably. The
Say nashanam na samyak na bhavati.
yeah,
You can?
yes,
Okay.
nashaha, nashanam, they are similar, and the next pratyaya that we have to do, which is the ktin pratyaya, and that ktin pratyaya is also similar. So let me see if I can give you a quick example. So, aap dhatuhu, apl. So this aap dhatuhu means to get, and we will use it with the pra upasargah. So prapanam would be the lyut, obtaining, prapanam. Then the prapaha would be the ghai, and the tin for that is praptihi. All three mean attainment. Whether it is the lyut pratyayah or the ghai pratyayah or the ktin pratyayah which we have to do, they would all mean the noun form of the verb. So we can do a comparative study of them after we go over the actual individual forms first. Okay. So there are quite a few forms given here with the some upasargas in it, and you may be able to recognize them. Adhi, as.
Projection.
Hmm?
Adhyasa.
That projection. Yeah.
Yeah, superimposition, correct. Adhyasaha. Chris G went directly to the meaning. Okay, so adhyasaha. Then we already did sam ni asaha, sam ni as sanyasaha. Okay, anybody looking at the book?
Which book?
Okay. All right.
I would like to know.
I am using maybe the thing is different. I'm using the,
Sanskrit volume 3.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
What page? What page? She does not want us to look at
Yeah, I don't want you to look, but sure, 89. Okay, so Harinder ji has shared the file in the. No, I'm not saying don't look, but if you look, then I don't want to commend you on your answer. That is all. Okay, so the next one is upa and dish.
Upadeshaha.
Dish becomes deshaha. So upa dish upadeshaha. Nirdish nirdeshaha. So upadeshaha is advice, and nirdeshaha is okay. Upadeshaha is teaching. Nirdeshaha is pointing it out or showing it out. Then I will also be asaha. So adhi I.
Adhi.
I. I.
Is Ian upasarga? What is that? I'm sorry.
It's I is a verb.
Oh, okay. It's another verb.
Eti. I think eti. Adhi I is adhyasaha. Adhi I adhyayah. Oh, there in us you had the sa, here you don't have the, I misled you. So adhi I adhyayah.
What is that meaning of
I is to go. I believe we can look, but I'm using all my devices for something or the other, and I'm not. I'm recording here, and on the other one too, I'm recording. But we can look.
So E is
Aya.
Aya.
I is aya.
Aya.
Adhyayah. Abhiprai.
Avipraya.
Avipraya.
Very nice. Ahr.
Aharaha.
We had done hr. Are you reading from a book, Sharmila ji?
No, I wrote it when you said
Very nice. And this is the best compliment you can get from a teacher. The best compliment you can get from a teacher is when you give answers and the teacher asks you, are you looking at a book? Okay. So we should actually be proud of such a question directed at us. So the very nice, very nice. Noting down and having the presence of mind to look at it. Okay.
I'm sorry, Vidyaji. The last one was, what was the last one?
Ahr. So anybody giving answers, just give 1 second for the others to hear and process the information before you give the answer. Ahr. Aharah. We.
Bhaskar has a nice radiance there.
Right.
It is
Vi avahr. That is, we say for Vakratunda Mahakaya, Koti Surya Samaprabha. Now Bhaskaraha is having a Surya Samaprabha. And Bhaskaraha, that Kr is Karoti. Right? The Kr is the, but here it is not the Karaha. Divakaraha, no. There must be other words where it is a karaha and not a karaha. We'll get to that. So, we, no, hang on. We, avahr. Vyavaharaha. Vyavaharaha is dealings. Upasamhr. Hr is haraha. So there's not even a sandhi there. Upasamharaha. Adhikr. Adhikaraha. And so kr, here they are using it as to authorize. Adhikaraha is the having the right over authority. Okay. So very nice. So let me see if there's anything else. Okay, from the exercises, shall I introduce you to the ktin or shall we do the abhyasaha? Okay.
Maybe we could start that process of writing the sentences down. I don't know. Maybe not because then that involves all the different ones. I'm kind of anxious to do that, I guess.
Okay, so the lokate is a kriyapadam, right? Lokate is to see, and the lyut for it will be lokanam, and the ghai for it is why bahuvachanam, Harinder ji? What? Lokaha. All right, lokaha. Then we've already seen bhuj, bhogah, pat, pathah. The lyut is patanam, but the ghai is pathah.
Oh, quick question, Vidya. You said you may tell us once we get a few examples, you would give us the rules for conversion.
Okay. All right. You want the rules for the conversion.
I'm a little confused because like we're doing mostly vritti, but when you do the oo becomes o, which is guna, right? O is guna for oo. But so I'm just confused why some of them are guna and some of them are vritti.
Okay. Okay.
Is the indicatory letter is the nya? I don't. It's so hard to say that without the ya sound. Nya.
Gai, gai. Just keep that, rein in your tongue. Don't allow the tongue to, well, you just have to work out. Saying ja, when you say ja, you don't hear the ya. But if you say j, and you block your nose, I'm not sure if you will hear the y.
Like
Yeah, completely.
I'll just have to hold my nose when I say that letter in the future.
Right.
Maybe that's what Rishi said. I don't know.
Yeah, you can say gaj. But if you close the nose after you have said the g. Okay. So it is indicative of the bhavaha. Bhavaha is the action. It is indicative of the action, and it is not referring to the karta, right? Because it is not in the sense of the subject. Then we have seen that the only usable form from that pratyaya is the a. Then the g is lashakva tadhite. I'm not going into any sutram, but because of this, you get the ka becoming a, ga, the cha becoming a ja, and so on. Then the nya is your halantyam, and because of that, it can cause the vriddhi in the part, in the anga that is going to be used for the modifications. Then the special modifications of,
Did you say that the nya did that?
yes,
The nya caused the vritti?
yes,
They're very good.
that causes the vriddhi to the anga. Then the special modifications of the pratyaya and the anga, guna and vriddhi, can take place on the anga. So both guna and vriddhi can take place. So we will subsequently see when which one. The gender of the resultant pratipadikam. Pratipadikam is the base noun. When we say akarantaha pullingaha rama shabdaha, that rama is the pratipadikam. So the lingam of this pratipadikam is pullingam. Then because it is it ends in an it becomes an akaranta shabdaha. So tyagaha tyagau tyagaha, tyagam tyagau tyagan, tyagena tyagabhyam tyagaihi. It becomes like a rama shabdaha. Okay. Then the vigraha vakyam.
So we have all the declension basically then, right? So it has all the declension.
Yeah, any noun Any noun which is not an avyayam will have declensions.
Okay, so the word Rama itself is a gun
Might be from Ram.
from Rama.
Yes. So you will now realize that many words are, many of them may even be names. Well, I know somebody named Bhogah. Okay. Then, so Vigraha Vakyam. So the Vigraha Vakyam is the descriptive, is the technical description used to define the word or the usage. So we saw for the lyut, we saw the Vigraha Vakyam as kritihi iti karanam. We saw it, hang on for a second. Drishyate anena iti darshanam. We had seen that as a Vigraha Vakyam, as a descriptive of the lyut pratyaya. Drishyate anena iti darshanam. It is seen with this and hence sight. That would be the way we will give the meaning for that Vigraha Vakyam. So here we have quite a few options. In bhave, other kridanta word which also indicates bhava will be used as an explanation. So even there we use the lyut. So you may have the lyut coming in to explain the Vigraha Vakyam. Pathanam iti pathaha. So literally they are using the lyut pratyaya to define the ghain pratyaya. And when you look at the dhatu pathaha, where it will say kr karane. So kr karane, there also they are giving you the karane, which is the lyut pratyaya. So they are using the lyut form to define the verb. And of course, for gam dhatuhu, they will say gatau. That gatau is from the ktin, gatihi. Gatihi is the ktin pratyaya for the gam dhatuhu. And gatihi also means gamanam. Gamanam is the lyut. Gatihi is the thing. So there they will say gatau. Gatau is the saptami vibhaktihi. So in that, when they define the verb, root verb, they will associate with the root verb the common meaning for that particular action. So char dhatuhu, there they may say charane, charvane, they may also say gatau, indicate. So anywhere there is a movement, they will use the word gatau. So these are all forms that are used to explain the verbs. So sometimes it will be using a form of itself to explain itself. And if you do that, then you will know it, you are actually doing Advaita Vedantam, where to explain Brahma you are using, I will stop right there. Okay, so Pathanam iti pathaha. Then both words are made of the pat, and Pathanam is the lyut and the pathaha is the ghai. Okay, and both words mean the same thing. So that resolves Chris G's question of what is the difference between the two. There is no difference between the two as far as the meaning goes, but the application will be different. Then in karmani, so lokyate iti lokah, that which is seen, lokyate. So for the vigraha vakyam of see, it is lokyate, it is seen, and so it is lokah. That which is seen, that which is observed is the world. So again, you can take some time to analyze the meanings, because what you are seeing will help you with your Vedanta study also. So lokyate iti lokah, that which is seen is the lokah, and therefore you can now understand that the world is the manifested form. So that which has been manifested is the world. Okay, then somebody has something to say? No. So if you are using the karane, then you are using the anena, drishyate, right? Anena iti darshanam. So there you use anena, yena to describe the vigraha vakyam. I think I'm losing you all, right? Okay. So they are just giving a whole bunch of different ways in which the vigraha vakyam, the technical description, can be made. The technical description could be made in one of more, there are, I think, close to 7 ways, or 5 ways, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 5 different ways in which the technical description could be given. So they are describing, they are listing each possible way in which the description can be done. Okay, I will skip that. We'll just do a little more. So the derivation of Rama, a ghai pratyaya anta word, is ram and the ghai. So how do you get there? The krit ghai is suffixed to the dhatu rama, to the dhatuhu ram. So you have rama. But then by addition of the suffix ram is qualified to be an anga. So the ram is your anga. Then the gha and the nya, the g and the nya of the ghai, they disappear, the g. So you are left with the a, and then vriddhi is coming into place, and therefore you that is why you get the ram becoming ram. So the vriddhi is caused, and to the penultimate swara, as you may recall. So that becomes Rama, and so you have the ghai pratyaya of the ram dhatuhu as Rama. So at the end of today's class, I will send the notes from the ghai pratyaya, and you can see, I can even send both I'll send them as 2 separate PDFs. Or Harinder ji has uploaded the document here on the chat. So you can download the file if you don't already have that with you. Pages 87, 88, 89 and 90. 4 pages. Lut was 81. So this is continuing after the Lut pratyaya. So it will give you the rules. We can come back and continue with the remaining stuff when we meet again next week. In the meantime, I will provide a sample, or Chris G, whoever gets to doing one template first. Take one dhatuhu and then lay out all the forms that we have done. You, whoever does it first, share that first form with the rest of the class. That way, everybody will get an opportunity to think about all those different forms, and then I am sure Chris G would have gone through all the, for as many dhatus as possible, going over all the forms. So it is good for each one to go through that process themselves, because whatever Chris G is generating is already available in some book or the other. And when you look at that book, you are like, you're only eyeballing it. You are not doing the process of conversion from one to the other, to the other, to the other. So as students, it is good for each of us to do some of those conversions and then use the rest as reference. But we should know we should have the ability to go through that process ourselves. Sadhu? Okay, so all we have done today is to look at the ghai pratyaya. We worked on the pronunciation of the nasal sound of the palatal class. And then we saw a few forms as examples, and we have understood that the use is similar to that of a lyut pratyaya, and it is applicable to anything that is not the karta. It is not associated with the person who is doing the action, but it could be associated with any other vibhakti, any other karakam. Okay. Any question? All right. Shanti mantram, somebody, please. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah.
सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा मृतङ्गमय ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ
Let me stop the recording.
Thank you very much, Vidyaji.
Thank you, teacher. Happy Navratri.
Difficult subject, but very nice to hear from.
I'm trying not to talk because I'm trying to end the Alt Q. No. Shift